So what I'm trying to explain here is why you should pull the clutch when riding a motorcycle in very tight corners. And that's what I definitely want to avoid. If you go down a hill and the bike is pushing you to a speed you do not want to, trust your tires and trust your skills. Hey guys, my name is Mike and I'm riding a motorcycle for over 13 years now. I got around 200,000 kilometers on the streets of more or less the Central Alps here in Europe. I'm coming from Austria. There are like mountains just outside the door and you can ride there every day. I'm now living in Munich and Munich is more or less a very great center to be in all kind of mountain destinations here around Central Europe, because you are in Austria very fast, South Tyrol, north of Italy very fast, Switzerland very fast, and also the Western Alps can be reached within 8 hours. So from Friday to Sunday evening, you can go everywhere, just be in paradise. I think this topic will cause lots of discussions, so share your opinion down in the comments, be polite, be friendly. So what I'm trying to explain here is why you should pull the clutch when riding a motorcycle in very tight corners. There are many opinions out there, and I see it on my shorts that usually people are telling me you are doing it wrong. But I would say they're also not driving the same roads and the same streets as I do. We are going to discuss also the Stelvio Pass in detail. There will be another video out there how to ride the Stelvio Pass in time. So take a look to this video as well. Things first. When I started riding a motorcycle, GoPro did already exist, but the image stabilization was not existing at that time. When you ride a motorcycle, first of all, you must feel comfortable. You must not be afraid. You should actually learn how to drive instinctively without overthinking everything too much.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Because it should just be like, if you are used to cooking, to cook. If you are an engineer, to do whatever you engineer. And if you ride a bicycle all your life, it should be like riding a bicycle. When I started, I definitely felt that going left was a bit different than going right. I went out there and I trained going left until going left felt exactly the same as going right. Second, I was feeling uncomfortable when I was going downhill. I loved going uphill, but I did not like going downhill. So I went out there and I was going downhill and I was taking corners downhill, and I did not trust the front wheel at the beginning and the rubber, because going down all the way, the bike, you and the rubber and the street, and all this weight is going just to this like 15 millimeters of rubber contacting the street. Does it really work? You have to trust. I went out there, I repeated and repeated and repeated and did it all over again until going down all the corners felt exactly the same as going up. And I think that's the basic thing all of us should do. You should feel comfortable, and you should feel comfortable in every kind of situation all the time. Number two, at the age of like 35, I switched from street bikes to enduro bikes because I wanted to go over the TED and over the ACT, probably doing some of the tracks again in the future. And I went already some TED tracks in France and in Italy. And I also was at the Bosnia Rally playlist here. It was an amazing adventure. I can definitely recommend it. But I also wanted to prepare. I was never going off-road. I was never going on deep gravel. And by deep gravel, guys, I mean this kind of stone as my fist. It's too small. Like there were stones as big as 2 or 3 fists, and you were going straight through that road. It was a public road there in Bosnia, but the 300-kilogram bike was just really struggling to move through all this. Can we still call it gravel? But let's do so. So I tried to learn how to ride off-road at some enduro trainings, and I did like 3 of them at the BMW Enduro Training Center here in Bavaria, north of Munich. And it was a real pleasure. I was even doing it with my brand new Ducati Multistrada, and there were just BMW bikes and me with the one Ducati. And the Ducati was brand new in year 2021. And everyone was watching and thinking, is this guy crazy? He's just going with his brand new Ducati on this off-road training, never dropped the bike before. And yeah, I was at the expert group, and I managed in 2 days to never drop the bike there. Thanks to all the friends. And now there is number 3. At this off-road enduro training, we also learned that when going very slow, actually below the speed of your first gear, and this is where like the internet makes all of the troubles, I guess, because it makes a huge difference if you drive a V2, V4, big bike or a small bike. It really depends on how the engine works and how you get the feedback. So if you want to drive below first gear, you have to pull the clutch. Keep in constant RPM, like 2 to 3,000. Then you don't stall the engine, and then only perform the acceleration with the clutch. And hey guys, if you want to say it will kill the clutch, I don't give a BMW engineers and trainers told us to do it, so I'm sure the clutch will survive. Probably because we are in 2025. I think it's pretty sure if you go on normal roads with normal corners, normal radius, normal angles, you don't have to pull the clutch. And you also use the engine brake and everything will work fine and perfect. We are talking just about the very special case that you take a very tight corner and you have to get the bike around this corner on your side of the lane. That's the goal. And there is number 4, the Stelvio Pass. If you are up there, and yeah, there are very specific corners. The road is very steep, no joke. Between those 2 roads, there is a 180-degree turn. It's really very steep also within this turn. And the road is not wider than 1.5 lanes. There is also no lane separation. So I would say, if you want to make the turn within your lane, you have probably a maximum width of around 4 to 5 meters, especially at the inside of the corners. I don't know how your bike reacts, but my 1250 Pan America is not capable to go at such low speed when you have a gear in your gearbox. So I have just to pull the clutch, put the bike down, and take the corner as tight as possible. If you are on the outside of the lane, I would say on this street it won't be a problem and you can get around. I've also made the experience, especially with the Ducati Multistrada V4, that if you are rolling down a hill on a more or less okay corner in like second gear, it is also pushing you. And that's what I definitely want to avoid. If you go down a hill and the bike is pushing you to a speed you do not want to drive because it's just too fast probably for that corner, you have to just pull the clutch, stop accelerating, and you just take the momentum, go around the corner. You get a little bit slower in that case, and it just works. You can also brake with the rear brake. You can also brake with the front brakes. No worries. You can also brake with the front brake at complete lean angle. You just have to make it very soft. So I remember that one time when I was with my knee down on my BMW S1000R and I was realizing I was going too close to the middle lane, I was very softly pulling the front brake complete lean angle. I was just becoming slower. Sure, the rubber was hot. Trust your tires and trust your skills. I'm really looking forward to all the discussion below this video. I was talking also about my past, about riding a motorcycle, because I think nowadays many people forget that it's just you and you should just have fun riding a motorcycle. You should not think too much. You should not care about what other people tell. You should do something in an area where you feel comfortable. If you go slower than all the other people, enjoy. If you want to go faster and don't harm anyone, enjoy. Just have a good time out there. I think that's the most important. And sometimes something may also be working perfectly for you out there, which probably is not the standard recommendation in any kind of book. I'm also a very big fan of making what fits best to you, because some recommendations, they are, like 5 levels beyond everything capable at the moment, or probably they are just wrong because they are just working in some special case, or probably it's the best practice in some specific case. But enjoy riding, ride hard, ride safe, have a good time.